All right, so if we actually take a look at the nodes, we can see I'm probably going to be doing difficulty 7 myself. I don't have some of these teams built up quite high enough to probably be doing difficulty 8. New Avengers is not a team that I'm prioritizing all that heavily. I don't know that I see their value outside of these trials, and these trials aren't going to come up that often. So I don't know. I'm probably going to be happy with node 7. If you want to go higher than that, there's not really that big of a difference other than you can only do Rebirth on mission 2 and only do New Avengers on mission 6. Even when you get to mission 10, you can do a mismatch again. So it's really just those 2 nodes that are different. For everything else, we're going to be taking a look at node 1, which is no restrictions. Just bring your 5 biggest people. I would highly recommend not bringing people who double dip onto other categories. So if you've got a really good character like maybe Black Cat, maybe save her and don't use her in no restricted areas so that you can use her in the city villain character area, something like that. Mission 2 is either Rebirth or New Avengers, or if you're going higher, just Rebirth. Not a whole lot to talk about there. You're going to bring whatever your stronger of the 2 teams are, or your Rebirth if you don't have a choice. Mission number 3 is City Villain. This is where it starts actually getting a little interesting. All right, so if we take a look at the city villain, you can see that Black Cat is the best character here by far. She's great in Arena, she's great in DD6, she's great here, she's good in Cosmic Crucible. Like, there's nowhere I don't want to be using her right now, so I would say she's a guaranteed. Dr. Octopus is also very strong. He's going to be part of the new Superior 6 as well as the old Sinister 6 team, so he's got a decent amount of value. Swarm is a Sinister 6 character as well as an infestation character. So he's also very good. If you've got Kraven unlocked, which clearly I do not, and he's built up, I think he's going to be an amazing character in this level. And if you're doing your second run, Green Goblin is a no-brainer. But that's like, you've already unlocked Green Goblin at that point, so you probably don't need my help on this. You've also got 4 of the 5 Underworld characters. Now, I don't remember what they're called anymore, but they were called Scourges before. There is a Scourge mode where you can turn on all the war bonuses. So having a war team like the Undying in here could be really, really strong. However, you've also got access to Sinister 6, which is also a war team, and that's the one I'm going to actually recommend building up just a little bit higher. I see them having a bit more value in different areas. Some people are even talking about Vulture being great in DD6, which would be amazing if that's accurate, and hopefully that it is. So I would say probably what I'm going to bring in here is Black Cat, Dr. Octopus, Swarm, and then maybe Vulture and Mysterio, and see how I can do with that team. Vulture and Mysterio are 2 that I'm currently building up even just a little bit higher than they already are. So that's probably my 5-man recommendation for this area, unless you have Kraven, in which case 100% bring Kraven. All right, the room number 4 is Global Blaster, and if you've got Apocalypse at either 5 or 7 stars, you can see that you're going to have quite a few of these characters already built up pretty highly, which is very, very nice. If you're building your Infestation team, you've got a Yellow Jacket, which is good. If you are a raid participator, like a heavy raid guy, you will have members of Pegasus, members of Bionic Avengers, members of the Invaders, members of the other one that I can never remember the name of, Rebirth. You don't want to use your Rebirth team, now that I actually said that out loud, though, because you obviously want to use those in nodes 2 and possibly 6 and 10. So ignore the Rebirth characters, but even so, between Gambit, Archangel, Phantom X, Sunfire, and then kind of your pick of the litter, maybe Ultron is probably my best bet after that, I don't imagine having a very hard time with this node. Now, none of these characters are war characters, so if you do have that turned on from the previous node, that might work in your detriment, but it shouldn't be too bad. These characters, again, if you've gone for Apocalypse or a big boy Apocalypse, they should be all built up. They should be all at least gear tier 17, if not higher. I don't foresee this being an issue for most people. All right, room number 5 is just tech. This is looking like a really, really good room. You've got your entire Pegasus team here. Kestrel, for me, is just absolutely amazing. She's good in so many different game modes right now, as is Kang, as is Dr. Doom. You've got lots of options here. Obviously, if it's just tech, you've got access to the Bionic Avengers if you've got them really built up, although probably not your best option. You do have a couple of the Sinister 6 available. You've got 2 members of the Infestation team available to you. And for a long time, big time Spider-Man, 3 members of the Infestation team, my bad. And for a long time, people were talking really highly about Lady Deathstrike. I didn't personally build her up all that high, but if yours is if yours is really strong, that should work out very well for you as well. There are a lot of good characters to choose from this node. I don't see this node being a problem for most players. And from there, you can see that the rooms just recycle again. You're going to have another city villain, another global blaster, and another tech room before you go on to your final mix of Rebirth and New Avengers. And that's no matter what level you're playing at. That's, well, beyond 5. That's what you're going to have to deal with. If you're trying to do difficulties 1, 2, 3, or 4, just know that it makes your life easier. You have less restrictions. You're going to have no restrictions on room 1, hero in room 2, city in room 3, blaster in room 4, tech in room 5, and then it just repeats itself. I'm not going to go super deep on those because basically you will have access to all the characters that I just talked about and more. So you'll know what your best character is of what's available to you. And if you're only trying to do difficulties 1, 2, 3, or 4, hopefully you can make it through that without too much difficulty. Now, we don't have the chart right now for exactly how many points you're going to get for each thing, so I can't tell you exactly what the lowest level is for what you're going to want to actually unlock the character. We know that you can unlock him at 450,000 points at the end of the week with the leaderboard, 550,000 points right away, and 4 stars if you get 1.35 million points. So it's really up to you and your roster what you're going to be striving for and how much you care about Green Goblin, but it's sounding like he's going to be an incredibly impactful character in this game, and you're definitely going to want him. All right, and that's all we got for you right now. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you made it this far, please consider giving the video a like. You made it this far, you probably enjoyed it. And if you're willing to hit that subscribe button, I'd really appreciate it. We're trying to get to 500 by the end of the year, and every little bit helps. You can also come join the conversation with me in my Discord, which is linked down below, or hang out with me on Twitch at twitch.tv/TheMongoolie Hit that follow button so you know when we go live next. Other than that, Commanders, you have a great night, and good luck to you in the Goblin Trials starting on Wednesday.